Hey everyone, welcome back. This is Android Cemetery, and in this video, I'm going to be sculpting the Pokemon Togetic. So first off, I'm going to be sculpting the base of the body. I'm going to use two elongated spheres, one for the head and one for the base of the body, and also a cylinder. I'm going to place them in the right spot, make sure that they're intersecting, and then do a remesh. That will combine the meshes together. I'm then going to use the grab brush so I can reshape the model to get the basic silhouette of the sculpt. It's really important to start off with a low resolution, so that way you can easily modify the base of the sculpt. I use the snake hook tool to pull out the egg shape on the back of the head. For the arms, I use another sphere. I scale it in the X, and then scale it again in the Y to create a flat shape, and then move it in place where the arm should be. I then add a mirror modifier, and then I duplicate it and move it to the back to form the wings. It can be really helpful to use existing geometry and just duplicate it and move it into other areas. For the legs, I just add a cylinder, mirror it over, and duplicate the arms to create the feet. I use the grab brush to pull out the head a little bit because it looks a bit flat. I think it's really important to keep moving around your model and sculpting different areas. It kind of gives you a small break from concentrating on one area and over obsessing about it too much. I use the clay strips brush on the wings to pull out the top heart. And then I use the crease brush to define the detail a little bit more. According to the reference image that I'm using, the wings are a bit of a weird shape. I also scaled them in the X because I wanted them to be a bit more flat, like wings should be. I select both the leg and the feet, join them together, and then do a remesh so I can connect them, and then that way I can sculpt them both together. For the eye, I just create a cube, add a subdivision, and then in edit mode, I create an edge loop and then bevel to get this rounded rectangular shape for the eyes. I duplicate the eyes to create the eyebrows. And then I just add another few edge loops to define the shape of the eyebrow. For the mouth, I just add a cube. Select the bottom edges, and then bevel until they're rounded. And then I use a difference boolean to remove the mouth shape from the base of the sculpt. Then I just add a simple sphere for the shape of the tongue. For the shape of the mouth, I use the crease tool. Then I also use the crease tool to sharpen up the outer edges on the back of the head. I I add some more geometry to the feet, and then with the draw sharp, I draw the line between the toes. And then I use the crease brush to create a more defined line. I add some more geometry to the wings, and use the draw sharp to create a more defined line. I then join the arms to the body, and then do a remesh, and then join the feet to the body as well, and do another remesh. And then just use the smooth brush to smoothly connect them both together. And now I'm just going over the model and using the smooth brush to get rid of all those jagged edges. Now that I'm finished with the sculpt, I go into Vertex Paint mode to create my vertex colors. At the moment I'm adding white to the wings and to the base of the body. And now I'm going to add black and then fill the color for the eyebrows and also for the eyes. And then create a pink color for the tongue. The details for the eyes are going to be pretty simple, nothing too complicated. When it comes to the details for the body, I'm using a reference image to try and replicate the basic shapes as much as I can. Unfortunately, I couldn't find much reference for the back of the body, so I'm kind of just winging it. And for the back of the mouth, I use a dark color, and then later actually change the colors because I didn't really like the dark color that much. So I changed it to something slightly lighter, to a slightly light pink. And now using those vertex colors, I'm going to be creating my materials. The material creation is pretty straightforward when it comes to vertex painting. For the eyes, I just connect the vertex color to the base color and adjust the roughness so the eyes are shinier. The color for the tongue was a bit too light of a pink, so instead of going back to vertex colors and changing the color of the tongue, I just added a hue saturation node and then just adjusted the saturation to get a more darker color. For the body, I also add another hue and saturation and just bump up the saturation just a bit. So now that I'm done with creating materials, it's time to start rendering. I create a plane, extrude it up to create a cube, delete the top face, and then bevel the edges to create a smooth ramp that won't be noticeable in the final render. I changed the color of the background mesh to try and contrast against the sculpt. I add in a camera, snap it to view, and place it where I want the final render image to be. When it comes to lighting, I usually start off with the sun, just to get the general shadows and get the entire scene lit up. Then I use 3 area lights. So the first light is an area light. I try and get that into place to light up the front where the camera is going to see it the most. Add another area light on the top. And then I add the final area light on the left of the model. just to get rid of some of those dark shadows. I'm not going to be rendering this model from any other side. I'm mostly just going to be concentrating on the front. I'm going to render it in cycles, and then when I'm happy with all the settings, I render out the image. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys next time.